How do you do, peoples? What it do? Let me heat my coffee up. So I went to a parade on Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, 250 years. Explanation mark, let's go. I'm gonna have to edit that out later. Oh wait, I can't, it's live. Damn it. Damn it. I gotta edit that out too. Oh shit, the live's ruined. I gotta start over. I gotta start over. I can't talk. Okay, oh wow, okay. That's a really weird start to the live. That's okay. We're gonna flip it around right now. So grateful, feeling grateful. Celebrated 250 years of American independence in Prescott, California, where I live. Well, I live near Prescott, right outside of Prescott. So, anyways, closest town on the map, and it was good. It was a good parade. You know, I'm not really a parade person. You know, we did watch the Rose Parade every year, the Pasadena Rose Parade. That's sort of like a Southern California thing, especially for people in LA and the greater Los Angeles area. But yeah, anyways, I was sort of reluctantly crouching, sort of reluctant to go, but I'm glad I did. And, you know, I thought I was just going to go for maybe a couple hours, you know, for sure. It's like, okay, I'm going to go for a couple hours and then get something to eat and then leave. And I actually went for 6 hours, didn't eat anything, and ate something later, you know, after I left the event. So, you know, sometimes you think you know how it's going to go, and it just goes so much differently. Watching those home renovation shows. Turn this shit off. You know, it's funny how there's so much on social platforms and television about shows about people basically, you know, doing it, you know, not doing it, but, you know, living some sort of productive, privileged life. And I don't know why everybody spends so much time and invests their time in watching how other people do it when how they show how it's done is not even how it's done. You know, these shows, they remodel a kitchen and they do the time lapse and it looks like it takes 30 minutes. And I mean, there's so many more people and so much more money involved in movies and all sorts of stuff. This journey of life, a lot of it, I think it gets to the point when you get out of your 20s and 30s, you stop reaching. You know, in your 20s, you're reaching for relationships, money, what religion should I join, what political party should I be a part of. You're just always reaching and reaching. And actually, my old boss taught me that one, Lebanese guy from church, and I think that's kind of normal. You know, when you're in your 20s and you're a teenager, you're sowing your wild oats, whatever the fuck that means. I still don't know what that means, but you're basically, if you're a normal person, you're basically more or less partying. You're partying. And then you go into the reaching period, you know, trying to find where you belong, trying to attain things, thinking if you get a bunch of things or if you belong in a certain way, you've sort of made it in life. So I would say that's kind of like the late 20s, the reaching for something. And then 30s is kind of just fucked. You're just fucked in your 30s. That's when you get into the mundane of just like wake up, go to work, pay bills. Everything just becomes, you feel like your life's over. That's the 30s. I'm speaking for myself, by the way. I know I'm saying you a lot, but I'm actually talking about myself. So, and then 40s, you're kind of like, wait a minute. I'm not going to be doing any of this reaching or figuring out anything, or this monkey show or this Monopoly board, trying to, people please, prove myself, keep up with the Jonases, or do anything. And I think kind of life starts nowadays, life kind of begins in your 40s. They say the 40s is the new 30s. So that mindset of just enjoying the day and being your authentic self, not flying under any religion flag, not people pleasing, just literally just being it, that is the best way to enjoy life, not overthinking about stuff. And that I think starts in the 40s nowadays. Because when you're in your 20s and 30s, it's so easy to be manipulated and pitched. How many people got into fucking crypto because there's like 100 influencers out there going, oh yeah, like I've been doing crypto lately and I was able to da-da-da-da. And all of a sudden, everybody's doing crypto, and that shit is basically gambling. Stupid. Even though, real quick, I always say this because it's true. I made kind of a lot of money on decentralized, the crypto. There's like hundreds of things to put money in. And I invested in decentralized, and I made a grip of money like so quickly. And so then I was basically, that's crazy to think about. That wasn't even that long ago. That was like, 5 or 6 years ago. I was in Portland. I was basically on this crypto app, 100 times a day. Like, oh wow, I just, I made $10, or oh wow, it went down $4. Oh wow, it's up $30. Should I cash out? I just made $30. Basically I was like chasing it like a roulette table or blackjack, but I never made, the only one time did I make a crap load of money. And it was unbelievable. I put $700 on decentralized and got like $9,000 in like 10 minutes, or 7 hours is when I cashed it out. It went even higher. It was like up to like 12,000 or something. I was like, oh my God, I just made, like, I couldn't even believe it. And then it started dropping and dropping, like every hour it's going down hundreds of dollars. And pretty soon I'm like, I'm cashing this out. This is crazy. So I came up super fat. And then I reinvested, put like $100 here, $100 here, $100 here. I kept most of that money, but I just dispersed it. And then I was like, basically, playing with, I put another $700 in, playing with, $700 on crypto for like a year and a half. Is a waste of time. I made a bunch of money right away on decentralized, and an unbelievable amount of money. But then the next like 2 years of doing crypto, I felt like I was just at the roulette table, up and down $10, $20. It was stupid. But here's an example of, there's always a thing. There's always like another thing to get into. And usually the people are the suckers, and there's usually a few shitheads, knuckleheads behind it making, unbelievable amount of money, and they're trying to stay anonymous and keep a low profile because they know they get fucked up. There's a lot of haters out there. So basically it's like, I feel like I've learned my lesson in my 20s and 30s not to get, especially the kind of personality I am, not to get into anything. Don't touch anything, don't get involved in anything, don't fucking believe in anything, just do, don't flinch and don't reach. I think that's going to be the topic for today. Your life's going great, all of a sudden you get that text like, oh my gosh, we're going to this new bar, and there's this thing, and there's going to be these people here, and it's going to be so awesome. all of a sudden you're like getting all hyped up over this bullshit, supporting somebody else's business, and then you end up spending $300, get hung over, your car fucking gets a ticket. You know, it's and there you go. You were reaching for an experience. You were reaching for an experience instead of having an experience in your current authentic realm. I just made that up. Wow. Okay. How am I all of a sudden becoming some new age esoteric motivator, public speaker? Woo! You know, some people call it, you know, slowing down, but it's not really slowing down. It's just not being retarded, and you know it. And then when you basically you got energy for good stuff. So, anyways, all things shall pass. Just dropped. Sorry about the confusion on the date release. I thought I set the date for the 7th, and I set it for the 4th. So I got that mixed up with After Burnout. After Burnout was originally going to be released on the 7th. So All Things Shall Pass, instrumental version, release date was the 4th, and I said it was the 7th on Instagram. Sorry about that. It's actually already released and streaming on Spotify. It's on all of the streaming platforms. So let's do that again. It's on all of the streaming platforms. And then the ending. Oh shit. Oh. So yeah, it's released, is what I'm trying to say. So All Things Shall Pass, the instrumental version, is released, streaming on all major streaming platforms. After Burnout is pushed back. It's not going to be released on the 7th anymore. It's going to be released on the 14th. I had to fix stuff. I thought the song was 100%, 1000% done. And then 2 days ago, I'm, you know, driving around in my truck, and I'm like, whoa, this note needs to be brought up. I have to adjust the level on the bass. I gotta move these notes around. You know, the kick has to go down. It was like all this stuff, you know, because if it was just like 2 or 3 things, I'd probably be like, okay, fuck it, whatever. It's fine. You know, it's an instrumental anyways, and it's like soundtrack music. So, but I'm listening to it, I'm like, there's like 7 or 8 things I had to do. This is fucking crazy, man. I need to pull the song back. And so I pulled it back, and then spent probably a couple hours really making sure it's 1000% to my liking, you know, 1000% fully mastered mix. And I added some drums, like the ending has this, you know, dramatic, you know, 50-second theatrical ending. And so I added some like really abstract, kind of dark, spacey, you know, early 90s industrial goth kind of drums, and gave it kind of like a different vibe at the end. And so anyways, did that, you know, and so that should be released on around October 14th. I was just thinking, I did so much on the song, listened to it, and then I did that ending drum part I was just talking to you about, and I only heard it in the headphones, so I didn't really hear it in the truck. So I do have to run some errands later, so I am going to have to listen to that ending part. But I was like, you know what, even if the levels aren't like exactly how I want them on that little ending drum part, I'm still going to fucking leave it. It's ridiculous. I've put so much work and time into this track, After Burnout, 6 minutes and 36 seconds. And to the recording artists out there, or to people that make content, whatever kind of craft, whatever kind of art you're involved in, you're ultimately never going to be completely happy with your work. Some of your work you put out, you will be 1000% happy with. So out of whatever the 50 songs I've published in the last couple years, only 10 of those songs I'm 1000% satisfied with how they sound. 1000%. And I even wrote down those 10 songs in my notebook just to kind of, understand that, by writing it down. So, and then the other songs are like, there's something like, for instance, The Time of Flowers on 5. I like that song a lot, and I'm 99.9% happy with that song. But there's one note after this little guitar lead. There's one note that's kind of rushed a little bit, and it's a little off timing. It's just one little note, and it's not even super off. It's just a little rushed. Anyways, it's the only thing I could hear in that song when I listen to that song that I'm like, oh damn, that could have been adjusted a little bit. But whatever, it's super minute, and it's fine. The song's fine. So All Things Shall Pass, I'm 1000% happy with that song. I've listened to that song in my truck after it's published. There's nothing I could think of that I would change. But again, that song is going to have vocals. That song's going to be on my 5-song EP I'm dropping October 14th. Okay, along with Take It All Back, which I was going to talk about. I got to fix some rhythm tracks on Take It All Back. I got to fix some rhythm tracks, and then fix that ending part. Like those like silly hand claps, and I got to adjust like the toms during the part of the song where it just breaks and it's just all toms. Oh, Liv just posted a YouTube video, just came up on, I'm subscribed to her YouTube channel. So she just popped up with a YouTube video. Okay, so I have to adjust the toms, fix the rhythm track, and then fix one vocal that's too loud. So it's going to take me probably 30 to 35 minutes to fully complete Take It All Back. Because right now, Take It All Back is a song that I wrote, it's published and everything, but it ultimately is a demo version. So, yeah, after I do some finishing touches on Take It All Back, and when I release it on my 5-song EP on October 14th, that's going to be the official release date of that song that I wrote a long ass time ago. That song's been through a little journey because I wrote that song, 12, 13 years ago or longer. God, was I playing that song in Montana? I think I was. Yeah, originally that song was just a little diddle. It wasn't even really a song, and it's evolved, and I did record it in Claremont, California, and that's on YouTube, and it's just an acoustic version. I did that with a couple friends in Claremont. That's a really fun night, and that was a lot of good vibes, good hanging out, if you see this. My friend Drew and his friend, she did vocals on Take It All Back. So anyways, it's just like an acoustic. I mean, we did that in like one night. It was more or less a recorded jam, and that version there's verse, chorus. The lyrics are a little different on the chorus, and then the verses, which kind of are a chorus too. That song is kind of like chorus after chorus, but anyways, it's evolved a lot since that acoustic recording. Obviously, you could even hear that on the demo. It's got different lyrics. It's got a lot more harmonies and everything. But I really do like that acoustic version because it has a vibe, and the female singer really gives it some texture. So especially the ending part. And she just was like freestyling that. I mean, we literally were just. I don't even know if we were planning on recording that night, but I was just playing my acoustic guitar. You know, we had a mic set up, playing my guitar, singing. Girl was singing. It was like one take, one play. Never make the mic take two takes, steal the first groove away. You know, so it was just it was cool. It was fun. It was like more or less we were hanging out. You know, it's a one take, one play. Never make the mic take two takes, steal the first groove away. Don't worry, I won't become like the next Machine Gun Kelly, even though I'm older than him. So technically, he's like my little brother, even though he's probably taller than me. Okay, so you know, Machine Gun Kelly, I don't know really about him or anything, but I respect the fact that he does release some good music. I like his rock stuff a lot more than his hip hop stuff, even though his hip hop stuff sounds, I guess, pretty good for, you know, hip hop. But I think his rock stuff is good. And I think if he got more glammy, if that's even a word, if he got more glammy, I think that'd be really cool. And also, I know his band, his rock band, they have a vibe and high energy and stuff, but I feel like, okay, I don't know, I know they're professional and talented and seem like really cool people, but it's just, I don't know, I don't even know how to say it. It's just, see, when I was in Hold Me Like a Gun, we were like a unit, and they're like a unit too, but we were like, all from like the same sort of background. We're like Nathan and Anthony and I were like so similar people where, you know, I feel like with his band, it's like they hired this person for these reasons and hired this person for these reasons. I don't know. It just didn't seem like an authentic band like how my band was. But anyways, where was I going with that? I was going to start, what was I going with that? I don't know. I forget. So, anyways. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm not going to start basically rapping. I'm not, that's what I was going to say. I've done very, very, very minimum rapping before. Almost next to nothing. But I did have my music project in my early 20s in Claremont, California, again, called Anjo Gang. We recorded like 40 songs. It's out there somewhere. And anyways, there is a song where I'm rapping a little bit. Like I'm speaking in Korean and I'm rapping. And it's cool. I guess it's good, you know. But I don't know if I'm not confident enough, but I'm not sure I could seriously rap for like, you know, a music career. I could do soul though, you know. I'm down with black music for sure, 100%, you know. So I love soul music, I love Motown, I love reggae, roots music, I love all that stuff, dub, you know. I'm down with reggae music, fucking urban, traditional skinhead music, fucking island reggae music. I'm down with that shit for sure. You know, and well, I'm not going to give it away, but there's a little bit of a reggae vocal part in All Things Shall Pass, the vocal version. It gets a little islander, like a little bit. Seriously, it's cool. It gets a little like Jamaican for a second. I'm not singing in a Jamaican accent, so don't get excited. But it does. There's like a little bit of a like Bob Marley sort of influence, and it is with the vocals, and that's actually already recorded, and it sounds so fucking good. I'm keeping that. I'm redoing a lot of those vocals. I've already done the vocals for All Things Shall Pass, but they have to be fucking perfect because the song, I spent so much time on the music. And it's going to be the main song featured in the 5-song album dropping October 14th is going to be All Things Shall Pass. and the chorus has this very 80s Bowie vibe. So it's kind of cool. It has this 80s Bowie vibe, but it also has this kind of like 90s fucking white boy reggae vibe, you know? So it kind of has both, and I've never recorded a song like that, so I'm super excited. Damn, this coffee's fucking good. Jesus Christ. Sorry, use the Lord's name in vain. Coffee's good though. Ginger, she was looking at me, and then she was kind of sitting down, and her eyes were squinting. Like, oh, very wise ginseng. So sometimes I call her ginseng. She looks like an old like Asian kung fu master when her eyes are squinted. You had a big day yesterday, huh, Ginger? You want to say hi on the camera? She went to the parade. Pretty girl. You're so cute. Don't worry, I'm not going to cook you and eat you. I know when I bring her in the kitchen, she's thinking she's going to go in the stew pan or something. I've had dog stew before. I've eaten dog stew before in Korea, and I didn't know it was dog stew until after I was eating it, and they told me, they're like, do you know what you're eating? And I'm like, no, it's pretty good though, like little short ribs, baby back ribs, you know, get their little mini ribs and stew. They're like, that's dog. And I'm like, yeah, I could see how that would be dog, because it doesn't really taste like baby back ribs, even though they're little ribs. So feel bad about that, you know, feel bad about eating that dog, actually. I never, you know, I don't want to eat really any animals, to tell you the truth. And I think if I had enough money and discipline, I would go vegan. And it's not even really the money thing, because there's these little rice bowls. There's these little rice bowls that are 90 cents. And my favorite meal is just a rice bowl with, what kind of cheese is that? Is it feta cheese? So anyways, just like this rice bowl with like this certain type of cheese with salt and pepper. So literally my favorite thing to eat on fucking planet Earth. And it costs like $1.40 to eat. So, okay. So there's Ginger. You know what's fucked up? It's like, so that dog I ate in Korea, like I'm drinking soju, mekju, and it was good, and the soup was spicy, and I ate it, but it's like, the reason I'm against eating animals is because you're basically just eating this beautiful animal, and then you basically like shit it out, and then you're hungry again, you know, 12 hours later. So it's not, if we ate animals and it was so healthy for us and it sustained us for even like a couple months or something, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense to eat the animal. But we're just getting hungry again, you know? But this is actually a good topic. Here's the deal though too, when cows and certain chickens and stuff, when they get older, they're going to die, you know? So I think if they were killed maybe like a year or 6 months before their natural death, they live their whole life free with the other animals or whatever out in nature. And then if they are slaughtered to feed humans, to nurture humans, like 6 months before their natural death, then that makes more sense, because then, you know, their meat's not going to waste. Because if they just die and they just have a carcass like laying on the ground until it decomposes in the earth, I mean, that's kind of a waste of meat. So I like the idea of vegan, but I'm not super hardcore with it, where I'm kind of like survival mindset also. I've always said, you know, like I kind of want to become someone that only eats what they kill. Okay, I would literally kill a fish. I've killed a fish before. I've had a fish here and I've fucking chopped off a fish's head. So I would eat a fish because I killed it, and I'm eating it and I killed it, and for whatever reason I feel okay with that. I'd kill a chicken, but I would not kill a fucking pig, and I would not kill a fucking cow. I fucking love cows. Cows are some of the sweetest animals ever, and they love to be with their herd, and they love to be with their parents and their herd, and they like to eat grass. They enjoy the sunshine. They play a lot. They like to be alive. I don't want to fucking eat a cow. I don't want to kill a cow. I don't want to eat a cow. But at the same time, if a cow's really fucking old and fat and has been eating fucking grass for however many years, I would rather eat that meat than somebody or something else. You can tell I've been thinking about this a lot. I think about it a lot because I love animals and they're important to me. And I think I keep saying that we as a society in the West and in America, we need to spend way less time deciding on what political party we fall into or what religion is the most correct, and more time on treating animals well and discontinuing putting any processed or refined sugar in any food or beverage product. We need to start there. We need to start right there. Treating animals well and taking out the fucking poison in our food. Let's start fucking right there. And then we'll work on whatever 100 different fucking things there is to work on. Infrastructure, whatever, immigration topics, citizenship, fucking girls playing boys sports, like whatever, like is the Catholic Church correct, or is that like the Church of Satan, or fucking are Jews secretly trying to infiltrate the country, or whatever, okay? Fucking whatever. You know, what corporation is corrupt? Are they brainwashing us? Is AI taking over? All that fucking other shit. Let's worry about that after we start treating fucking animals better. So if we can't treat animals in this planet better and take the poison out of our food, fuck those corporations that are making literally trillions of dollars selling everybody poison, basically, crap food. You go in the grocery store, it's just aisles, and it all has the same shit in it to weaken you so they can control you. More people die, more money they make. So it's just like, let's start by cleaning up our food, treating animals better, way better. The highways need to be fixed. The infrastructure needs to be fixed. You know, shit like this needs to get done. Not like, oh, who's on the Epstein file? It's like, yeah, there's a fucking shitload of fucking weirdos out there. Okay, protect your family. Don't let them watch weird shit. Don't let them hang out with weird people. But we have to clean up our food because you really can't believe anything you hear on mainstream news. You know, with COVID, with scandals, you don't really know what's real or what's not because they've been bullshitting for so long. It's funny to them. Oh, yeah. Real fucking funny. Everybody's fucking starving and shit, eating poison and fucking all fucked off and shit. Like, but they're having a good fucking time, you know? So, damn, this coffee's good. Yeah, but the highways are, I almost said the highways are demonic. Sorry. Why is it so satisfying to call like things demonic? Like, that shit's demonic. No, but it's, do you know how much roadkill is in the country? Skunks and coyotes. It's sad. It's fucking sad. The highways confuse animals. Okay, for the longest time, the animals would migrate to the north during the summer and the south during the winter. So the animals would migrate up and down with the seasons, and the Native American people would kind of travel with the herd, and every now and then would kill probably an older bison and use all of the fur, all of the meat to sustain the family's life, and they were living in synergy with the animals and with Earth. Now, Indians, I'm not saying they were saints. I mean, they had conflict with other Indians. I mean, I'm sure shit went south sometimes, and you know, so it's not like they were these like angelic beings and then the evil fucking serpent fucking white man came and you know, poisoned everybody with poison blankets. They were humans too. We're all humans. Okay, we need to stop going, oh, these people are evil or these people are evil. We're all humans, period. We're all the same, more or less, you know, 99.9% the same. So, but anyways, the highways are bad because they confuse the animals. Okay, so you have all these animals getting hit by cars. Not only is it bad for the animals, not only does it confuse them, it's dangerous for humans too. I mean, how many people die, you know, every day from hitting a deer, flying off a mountain, or damaging their vehicle? You know, so it's dangerous for people and animals. Highways are fucking dangerous. So I'm trying to think, we need to put like 5-foot walls on the side of highways, and we need to go get away from gasoline. I mean, we should be advanced enough now as a society to have electric vehicles. They should be a lot more qualifiers to drive, and these vehicles should go way fucking slower. Because driving a fucking Super Duty on diesel, going fucking 100 miles an hour, slamming through fucking javelinas and coyotes and shit, fucking drinking and shit, that's like some primitive shit. I mean, we should be way past that to electric vehicles. We should have safe highways, safe for the animals, safe for the humans, and the environment with electric vehicles. The problem is there's fucking maniacs that are making millions and millions and millions of dollars a month with living off of how we used to live 50, 60 years ago. And they're fucking psychopaths, and they'll do anything to continue to make money instead of just realizing that all things shall pass. It's like the name of my song. Damn, that's good. Yeah, ownership mentality is brutal. I mean, that's the only reason corporations are trying to get over on everybody and make as much money as possible. Is they want to have more and more money. But it's funny though, because money is now just digital currency. It has no tangible value. So they're like obsessed with all these like digital zeros and ones, this invisible money. Just they want as much of it as possible. But it gets to the point, just like with social platforms. I mean, if you have 50,000 views and 500 likes, or 5 million views and 50,000 likes, there's like no real difference, for the content creator. I've remixed reels, and I've had reels myself that have had 500 or 600 likes, and I've had reels a lot of reels that's 5 or 6 likes. There's no real difference. Doesn't change really anything, So the number deception is huge. We need to get out of the number deception and the ownership complex. If we get out of the ownership complex and the number deception, and what's funny about these so-called fucking Illuminati, these enlightened ones, it's like you guys are supposed to be so fucking enlightened, but yet a lot of you are behind corporations, symbolism, and all the bullshit. So it's like yeah, you guys want to make the world so much better and safer for everybody, but at the same time you're profiting so much, and you're not helping anybody, and you're not making the world better or safer for fucking anybody. So you're not that fucking enlightened. Damn, coffee's good. So currently today I'm been doing drums all morning. I've been doing drums for 3 hours, programming my drums. I play drums on my keyboards, kick, snare, hi-hat, everything. So I'm playing live drums on my keyboards, and then I fucking tweak them and program them and make them sound basically exactly how a live drum set would sound. The song I'm programming right now is a song I used to play with my band Hold Me Like a Gun, and we played that song thousands of times. And anyways, I have the drums like down, and so I'm getting the drums exactly how they sounded live when we played live shows, exactly. So the drums, and there's a lot of finessey, there's a lot of character in these drums, and it has a very Led Zeppelin vibe. Like the music, and even kind of the vocals are a little bit more Bowie, Iggy Pop, Beatles, but the music is very Led Zeppelin. But it doesn't sound like, some bands, there's a couple bands out there where it sounds like exactly like Led Zeppelin. Okay, it's not like that. It just sounds very Led Zeppelin. The drums, the guitar, the riff, it's very bluesy, it's very vibey, it's a very Led Zeppelin sounding song without it sounding like Led Zeppelin. So anyways, the drums, I've been on these drums, taking these drums for like programming these drums for like 3 or 4 days, and I'm probably only like 65, 70% done. So I definitely have a few more hours on these drums. And then I got to, the scratch bass track sounds pretty fucking good. There is some parts that need to be fixed or played again, but I'm almost thinking about keeping the scratch bass track. I got a little distortion on the bass. This isn't a bass heavy song. Like, it's just not. It's the bass sounds good, and it's going to sound good in the song, but more or less the bass and the guitar are almost doing the same thing, except the guitar's a little more complex, and I'm hitting these like very sort of like very bluesy, like very vibrant bluesy chords on the guitar. But more or less the bass and the drums are sort of playing the same chord progression. So I'm actually thinking about keeping the scratch bass track on the song I'm recording right now. So this song will be on my 5-song EP dropping in October 14th. And you will be able to pre-order this 5-song EP that I've been working on. You will be able to pre-order it in, I don't know, a month. Whenever I'm done recording it. So yeah, it's going to be available. Usually I don't have my music up for pre-order. I don't know why. I know everybody does that. I just never for some reason. But you will be able to pre-order this 5-song EP. And Take It All Back is going to be on the EP. Jenna's in a Paper Dress is going to be on the EP. The song I'm talking to you that I used to play with my old band is going to be on the EP. All Things Shall Pass with vocals, which is the main song. This whole EP is kind of revolved around this song. That's absolutely going to be on the EP. But I still have to do vocals, or finish the vocals for All Things Shall Pass. And then the 5th song that's on the EP, for whatever reason, I'm not going to tell anybody what that song is, but that song's already written, and that's not a song I played with my old band. Okay. That was my cousin who just texted me something about he talked to some girl or something. I don't know. I'll read your text later if you're watching this. So, anyways, for whatever reason, the 5th song on the EP, I'm not going to tell anybody what that song is, but I did not play that song. I did not play that song in my band. I wrote that song in Portland. The 5th song, Take It All Back. Take It All Back. Jenna's in a Paper Dress. All Things Shall Pass. Vocal version. The song I used to play with Hold Me Like a Gun. I'm not going to tell you the name of that song either. And the 5th song that I wrote in Portland. These are the 5 songs on my EP. So one song, nobody knows what song it is or even the name of it. That's this song. Okay, and that song is going to be, I will tell you the vibe. It's very fucking Weezer. It's very 90s, like good vibes, pop Weezer. Very much in the same sort of vibe as Jenna's in a Paper Dress. That's going to be the 5th song. I wrote that song in Portland. Very 90s Weezer type vibe. The song that I played in Hold Me Like a Gun, that I've been working on the drums for so long, that has a Led Zeppelin vibe. I'm not going to tell you the name of that song either. Okay, so the only 3 songs that people know that are for sure going to be on this EP, Jenna's in a Paper Dress, Take It All Back, and All Things Shall Pass vocal version. It's going to be it's going to be a really good EP. This 5-song EP is going to sound more polished, more published, and it's going to have more professional artwork than anything I've ever released since I was a teenager in The Discarded. The Discarded was a put-together fucking band. Okay, I know it's a Christian punk rock band, but we had, we put a lot of, work in more stuff. So this 5-song EP, I mean, five's good. I just dropped a 6-song EP called Five. Five is vibey as fuck. I love every song on Five, and Five is to me, Five has a very, like, a party sound to it. When I listen to Five, or when I think of Five, it reminds me of driving around in LA, driving around, going to different clubs and bars in Hollywood, Long Beach, and basically pulling all-nighters and drinking and partying with my friends. To me, Five, which is a 6-song EP, has that vibe to it. This next 5-song EP it's just going to sound very put together, very, very published. So that's what's going on with music for me. Hey, beautiful. A pretty girl. Oh. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to have to... She's going to want to go for a W pretty soon. I got to take her for a W, and I'm going to be working on vocals, I'm going to be working on finishing that drum track, which is much. I mean, there's a lot to this drums I'm programming right now. There's a lot to these drums I'm programming right now. A lot. I mean, these drums are fucking sick. This shit is like Led Zeppelin drums. You know, it's a 3-minute song. And these drums are fucking dialed. If you like Led Zeppelin, you're really gonna like this song that's gonna be on my 5-song EP dropping on October 14th. It will be available for pre-order. She's so cute. I was thinking I should be going for a jog today, but it's Sunday. Doesn't it seem like not a day to go for a run for some reason? Sunday just doesn't seem like a day to go for a jog. I don't know why. I feel like I can't go for a jog or something. So I'm gonna go for a jog tomorrow. Uh-huh. It's so great being 41. 41 is great. My early 30s were cool. Isn't that funny how different parts of your life are just... So, my early 30s were great. Like 31 to 34 was a lot of fun. My late 20s were kind of fun, but just a lot of drinking. And not even cool drinking, just sort of, pathetic, drinking at home. Fucking spam texting, getting drunk every night, just listening to fucking music on YouTube on your phone, just getting loaded drunk, smoking a lot of pot. That was late 20s. And early 20s was so fun though. I mean, for real. I mean, early 20s, 21, 22, 23. And then I started getting into Eastern Orthodoxy at 25 years old. Mid 20s was all Thai kickboxing. So like 24, 25, 26, 27. There was like 4 years where I was doing just a lot of Thai kickboxing. So that those years were just those were the kickboxing years, you know. And yeah, I was drinking a lot then too, but I wasn't doing any music. You know, I was just basically kickboxing, a lot of kickboxing, marijuana. You know, those were like the kickboxing years. Had my head shaved. Wasn't interested in playing music, or you know, wasn't even like listening to music. It was just. And then late 20s was early 30s was fun. Yeah. I'm glad I got back into music. That's crazy. It's crazy to be a musician and a songwriter and really not do any music for like 10 or 11 years. Yeah, there was some songs I wrote in that time, and I would jam, you know, with some coworkers and play some music and stuff. But I wasn't, you know, I wasn't like full time, you know, playing music like I was in my early 20s. So right now I'm in my recording era. Recording a lot of music, writing a lot of music, recording a lot of music. I got to get together a promo video for After Burnout, which is going to be released July 14th. So I do got to do a promo video for that. Anyways, yeah, that's all. I got so much to do on this song. I mean, I got a lot to do. This song is going to be this song I'm talking about that I'm spending a lot of time programming the drums. This song's going to be fucking fat. This is going to be rock overload. This is not like a punk rock, new age, you know, reggae song. This song I'm talking about is a straight up fucking rock and roll. This is in your face rock and roll, 1970s Led Zeppelin blues, fucking rock and roll. Okay, check out All Things Shall Pass instrumental version streaming on all platforms. Y'all have a good time. Have a good Sunday.